Okay, this is Blake Cushing, your King of Kings, speaking to you again, one more time. The thing is, we've been doing a bit of an audit over the last 40 or 50 years or so. And you'd be surprised what our findings are. In fact, we're going to begin to share them with you today. Now, first, we started with basically what is happening on this planet. And, well, there's a lot of contradicting opinions, can we say this? And many of them are prosecuted with martial force, the exercise of witless prerogative, as dumbfoundingly exemplified by the collusion of the West so-called Luddites, the super cream of the crop of humanity, that have lied themselves into a stupor out from which they are unlikely to get without an awful lot of help. Can you say this? People insistently blind, insistently stupid, insistently perverse, all in support of any new ideology that prances or panties in front of the soul-searching and empty crowd, the hollow men, I think somebody called them one time, those seeking to feast on the blood of others. What do you call them again? The people that are afraid of the light, not the dark. Well, anyway, we found a lot of that happening around. But we really wanted to get into the nitty-gritty and the specifics of things that affect my kids, like, for instance, justice and finance and religion and love and marriage and kind of large ticket items like that for human beings. And what we found was, well, in the domain of justice, there's a little bit left to be desired. Can we say this? Imagine a condition where the state is always omnipotent. There is no possibility of any of my flaws to show because I nipped them in the bud. I have a whole host of gardeners called attorneys general that weed our gardens for us and pluck out anything that is contrary to my lofty propinquities and sense of moral turpitude, etc. Anything beneath my own purview is somehow unworthy. And so what we do is we eliminate them any way we can. We cancel them, castrate them. As in the case of the British Crown, currently we have long-awaited jurisprudence in the House of Lords, all bowing and looking as gentlemen of the garter without the cloth, His Royal Majesty's rear end, which seems to be in flames these days. Mine was too. Anyway, we have a God that we rely on more than fiat cash. But where was I? Okay, justice. And in castration, speaking of those two hand in hand, isn't it wild what a grown-up daddy will do to his boys? Just because he and their grandma murder their mummy is no cause for alarm, right? No cause for anybody to get their nose out of joint. Just suck my rocks here and everything will be copacetic. Just let me get away with murder and everybody pretend to be blind. So justice, and his dominions in Canada too are really pathetic. It's just absolutely a joke. What these riffraff will get up to when they're seeking agreement is just astronomically perverse and worthy of full-blown novels in each and every circumstance. It's really compelling to participate in. I hadn't planned on it, but I was invited to, you might say, against my wishes to participate, and so we did. And we found a tremendous amounts left to be desired in the prosecution of any kind of justice whatsoever. Even landlord-tenant, petty-ass, little two-bit landlords that have a hand job with the state. Poof, all justice, all pretense to sanity is voided because I'm the omnipotent slut of the underprivileged, don't you know? And I keep them all in check, keep them down, distressed, disturbed, and disenfranchised, where they should be. My name is Madam Propinquity. Well, just in Ontario, Canada today. But let's look a little further, shall we? Shall we peek into the bloomers of the USA and her jurisprudential initiatives therein? Ooh, that's a book and a half, I would theorize. How about you? You think your perception of the application of justice, rather than how it is written is flawlessly beautiful. I mean, it's a gem. I love how the laws of these lands are written. The problem, it seems to be, the practice is flawed, not the laws themselves. Any dim-ass bimbo can stand up on a podium and spout his corporate dogma. Chapter and verse, up and down the yin-yang cubed. But ask him to think outside of his box and he's ruined. Totally without an anchor in the universe. Flitting and looking for purchase, but can't seem to find any. So grab any resentment that's handy and cling to it for dear life. This is called the wisdom currently in the West. This early May of 2024. And we've just begun. I mean, we have litanies and litanies of deductive reasonings that are really quite outstanding. If you have any sanity at all, or any hope for some, you might want to take a peek and listen to your king expound on the difficulties facing rule in this, our God's promised land, having a hard time being born in a sea of putrid, stinking, revolting lies everywhere, nauseating the angels in heaven. And the worms that gotta feed on them too. This is your daddy's